7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
The Savachi syndrome, I'm telling you, I'm like, well, holy shit, that was crazy. Wait for it. Thick and slick.
All right, what is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Moto Aftermath Show, presented by TLR Coatings and Premier Custom Trailers. This is episode number 160. Little shorter show here than what we've been doing. We have been going pretty long with about a 3-hour show here for the last few weeks. However, tonight, let's face it, I'm getting ready to leave on a trip. So I'm trying to get everything wrapped up so I can get everything packed, because while I'm gone on this trip, we have many shows that we are going to be working on while we're gone, strictly because, let's face it, there's racing that's going to be happening. So let's jump right in here and get the paperwork side of everything out of the way. So again, like I said, welcome to the Moto Aftermath Show, episode 160, presented by TLR Coatings and Premier Custom Trailers. TLR Coatings, been our sponsor since the beginning. It's my personal powder coating company. They do all of your powder coating, Cerakoting, and vapor blasting needs. Make sure to look them up, tlrcoatings.com, or follow them on all the major social media networks. They have tons of awesome pictures to show you exactly what we can do here. So again, TLR Coatings, go follow them. Then, thanks to our new presenting sponsor for the year, Premier Custom Trailers. Do you need a trailer, commercial or residential? Premier Custom Trailers has what you need. They work with the best manufacturers in the industry and specialize in all your trailer needs. Sales, service, parts, or rentals, they do it all. PremierCustomTrailers.com, located 5 minutes south of Kalamazoo on US 131 in Schoolcraft, Michigan. They put the custom in customer service. We will be getting a trailer from them this year, so that's awesome. Also on board with us, JT Cycles out of Battle Creek, Michigan. They are your Husky and gas dealer. They also have like steel chainsaws and some sort of mowers. I'm not sure. I can't remember what it was. I don't know. Cole has all that information. But check them out, jtcycle.com. And then our last sponsor that's helping us out more so with the fantasy show than with the actual podcast here, but that's okay. They help us out all the way around. The Dirt Bike Depot, thedirt-bikedepot.com. They sell new and gently used equipment for all your motocross needs. So you need some boots, you need some pants, you need a jersey. They sell it. So go to check them out. You can also find them on all the major social media networks as well, and they post pictures of all the new stuff they get in all the time. So again, make sure to check them out. All of our sponsors there, and get your stuff. Get a trailer, get some powder coating done, buy some bikes or some bike parts or whatever. But anyway, do that. Also, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below. I know everyone likes it better when we're in studio and we have everyone with us. Justin is caught up at work, so he's not going to be able to be with us tonight. Cole is going to be with us here in a little bit. Kev will be on with us in just a little bit here, and that's pretty much going to be the show for tonight. Like I said, it's going to be a somewhat shorter show here. There's lots to talk about because we're wrapping up round 9. Is that what we're on? Yeah, must be 9. Round 9. Wow. Already round 9. So we're wrapping up round 9. It was Daytona. Eli Tomac gets the win. Cameron McAdoo gets the win in the 250 class. Wild night, multiple red flags, all sorts of crazy stuff happening. So we will be discussing all that. Also, make sure to check out our last show, episode 159. We had Coach Rob on for a long form, 3 hours of kind of bench racing, going through some of his history of who he's worked with and what's gone on with that, and what he thinks of some of the guys who are in the series now. And he throws out some hot takes. Coach Rob is not scared. He throws out some hot takes, so make sure to go check that out, because I'm telling you, there are some tidbits in there. I listened to all of Rob's stuff, and there are some tidbits in there that I haven't ever heard before. We got some stuff out of him, so definitely interesting. If you want to listen to us as just a podcast instead of doing the YouTube thing, make sure you can find us on all the major stuff: SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts. We're all over the place. Also, make sure to follow us on all major social media networks. Cole is running most of that stuff now. He is pretty much posting stuff all the time, funny memes, all that kind of stuff. So make sure to go check that out. And then also don't forget, we have another podcast on the network here. It is the Fantasy Podcast. Me and Cole sit down usually a couple of days or the day before the race and talk about our fantasy picks from the race before, who we're picking for the upcoming race. And any sort of little pop-up news that might be happening in the industry at the current time. Those air completely randomly. Like I said, it's usually 1 or 2 days before the race, usually on these days when we have races on just Saturdays and we're going normal schedule every Saturday. That comes out on Friday. And then the ones where the race is on Tuesday, which is what we're coming up to here, yeah, it's completely random. It could not air till the day of the race. It just depends. So anyway, like I said, make sure to check all that out, and we will get Cole and Kev on the phone here. Not sure who's coming up first, but live in wonder for about 3.5 seconds. Thanks for listening. Off we go. All right, well, first up on the show here then, not on the guest list to start with, Tom Cooper, former factory mechanic, former Moto hype guy. What's up, Tom?
I'm just listening to Dave Castillo, guy from Castillo Ranch.
Oh, no shit. Where are you listening to him?
Yeah. The stuntman stuff's pretty interesting.
Ah, yes. On the was that when he was on Whiskey Throttle or?
Yeah, Whiskey Throttle. That's a good one.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah, I was listening to some of their stuff too. It was super interesting. Is he the one that has the tramp stamp? I can't remember. Or was that some other guy?
This is other buddy. I forget the other guy.
I was going to say, I remember I was listening to part of that show one day, and they were talking about the tramp stamp, and they were talking about doing like one of the Born Identity shows or whatever, and they were doing something, and right before they get ready to go, he's like, wait, look, he's got a tramp stamp, you're fine. And the lady actress was like, oh my God. So, yeah, dude, that was classic. Fucking classic, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been, not that guy, but Steele's been one of the guys that's been in the, I guess you would say, a spotlight. He's been one of the guys in the industry for forever, and Steel Ranch is kind of a legendary spot, too, from like Terra Firma and Steel Roots and all the other stuff, so.
100%.
That caught my interest. So, yeah, Daytona was a hell of a race, though.
Oh,
damn.
my God. Dude, what a wild night. I mean, we had all sorts of red flags all the time. I mean, it was crazy. Absolutely crazy.
If you're in the LCQ and you're sitting on the line for your third restart after a bunch of red flags, and there's like 2/3 of the gate next to you, what's going through your head? I really wonder about that, because you're thinking to yourself, hopefully I make it through the second turn or so, or what do you think?
Oh, what's going through my head? What's going through my head
Yeah.
is if I'm not 100% sure that I'm getting into this main, I'm just like, dude, I'm just going back to the truck while I still can. I'm done. I'm done. Like, screw it. It's not worth it. I mean, yeah, there's no way when I'm sitting on that gate for the third thing that I'm just like, yeah, dude, like, awesome. Let's do it. Let's go race. Yeah. I'm sitting there thinking, like, am I really going to make this? Like, what are my odds of getting top 4 here? And if it doesn't seem like it's more than like 75%, like, I'm out. I'm done. I'm going back to the truck. We'll load it up. We'll see everybody in Dallas next week.
Well, if you're sitting on the line, I'm pretty sure you didn't come there to say, I'll just take it easy for it next week. You're gonna be sitting there thinking, I got to be in the inside of that first or the second corner that where you got to go inside to inside instead of having to go way outside. You can make like 2 spots up by just staying the inside. So I'm thinking I would be daydreaming about that. But man, what a wild time with all the red flags.
Oh my God!
I sure hope that Joey Crown, our hometown boy, is all right. I haven't heard an update yet, but
well, I mean, he was up and conscious last night. I think he just rang his bell, but dude, he was out. He was just laying there, like completely out.
I've been in a lot of wrecks, and I never laid there like motionless for a little bit and then just been fine.
Yeah.
I'm a little concerned about you guys, but
yeah, well, like, so the first angle, me and one of my other buddies were texting during the race, and like the first angle they showed it we were like, dude, did he literally just like crash and then just like roll over and be like, oh, I'm just going to lay here? And then the second angle they showed it at, it was like, oh, no, I guess he didn't do that. Like he knocked himself the fuck out and then was just enough up on that next jump that once everything kind of loosened up because he was completely out, he just like rolled flat and that was it. There he was. So, yeah, that was wild though, dude, because he was out for a while.
I was really worried about it at the time.
Yeah, I was too. I was like, oh, God, is he dead? Like, is he dead? And then I'm trying to figure out, I have not yet. I'm hoping to hear something this week. What the fuck happened to Mitchell Harrison in the main?
Oh, man, first right off I didn't see what happened, but maybe the second lap, he was already in dead laps, and then
I don't,
DNF or whatever.
dude, I don't think he started it, to be really honest with you. Like, I'm
that
not
could
really...
have happened.
I'm not really sure, but it really pissed me off because he was on my fantasy team, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Between that and then...
Man, I got love for those two boys, right? Those two local boys, Joey Crown and Mitchell Harrison, both. I was like, fuck, man, let's go. And then, that's how it goes tonight.
Dude, I know. Just fucking wild. Happy to see McAdoo, though, pick up his first win there. That was cool. He was,
you love to see that, and even more so, like, not to take anything away from Mr. McAdoo, going around the world to get his, to chase his dream, but also, it had been a little while since Mitch and the boys had good fortune, so I like to see Pro Circuit taking some champagne, too, like, weird to say this, because you don't want to see Geico Honda out of the sport or anything, but, well, there's one less premier team to be going for that top spot in the 250s. So maybe it's a little bit more time for the Green boys, the Pro Circuit boys, to get back to their prominence and their domination. They're winningest team in Supercross, but their fortune hasn't been that great with Faulkner and a handful of other guys in the recent years, even the recent almost 10 years. Obviously, they've been up there, but they've lost a lot of close call championships. I mean, think about Sansarulo and a whole bunch of guys that have just had not quite good enough fortune. So I'm not to take anything away from Geico guys, but perhaps it's time for Mitch to take his reins back, to walking away with it a little bit. Maybe not so much from Star, because they got half the field on the team.
Oh man, I mean it was a rough night for them Star Boys last night. Justin Cooper just could not catch a fucking break. Like, looked great in practice, looked great in his heat, and then gets in the main and he couldn't catch a break between like missing the rut with his front wheel coming out from under the tunnel and about smacking the side of the bridge, and I mean it was just. I mean, he made the best of it, and as they always say, you win your races on your bad nights, and that was definitely a bad night for him. But he still made it. I think he came back to like fourth or whatever. So, damage control. We'll call it.
We talked on the broadcast about how they had changed from tires and trying to change the setup around, and one of the real difficult parts about Daytona, especially when it's windy and the dirt's kind of drying out like it did yesterday, one of the real challenging parts is the setup, because Supercross suspension and motocross riding, like a real Daytona style track, they don't work that great together. So when you get a high speed, loose, sandy, kind of washy sand and just a rough track, some guys go out there and they soften up their Supercross suspension. Other guys go out there and they kind of go for more of a motocrossy suspension that's just tightened up a little bit. Well, when you change between tires and stuff, that's a difficult thing, especially when the heat, when all of them got a bad start, and then the whole team changed their tires over. It's like, wow, it really makes you wonder.
Yeah, so I understood why everyone was running the paddle. Okay, you had that long ass section of sand, 180, another long section of sand, whatever. But at the same time,
and the rest of it being so loose, nice too. I mean, the deep ruts is difficult with the paddle, but even for just regular loam, they're pretty damn good. I've used them for many years. They're pretty damn good.
But I don't think you needed that paddle on the rest of... Hold on. We have a special call in here. Hold on just a second. Cole Ugetti, welcome to the show, bud.
What's the word?
You're on the line with you're on the line with Tom Cooper.
Oh, what's up, Tom Cooper?
Hey, greetings.
So we were just. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, what are you guys into?
Well,
This is the 191 in Florida right now. I got a real question for you.
Oh man. Yeah, what are you guys diving into?
well, we were just talking about the whole tire debate that was going on last night. We were the paddle and the sand and how
When
it was costing
I
the
want
Star
to, I want
Boys.
to bring up that I was like, hey, you guys gonna run a paddle? Because I'm a paddle believer. I really like those tires, just for personal reasons. And I remember asking,
by Battle Creek Sandy track. He knows.
well, that and like, dude, I run that thing at Dutch and like all these hard pack tracks, and it's just fine. So, I mean, that's why I was kind of wanted to throw it in Kev and Colton's face, because I was like, hey, you guys gonna run a paddle? You guys gonna run that at Daytona? And they're like, fuck no. But hey, I think a paddle on the 250 main, right?
I
Yeah.
didn't even think about that.
Actually, yeah, I think you're right. I think that those pro circuit boys were running paddles, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, because like right before the gate drop, they were doing their pre-race support, and it was on the back of McAdoo's bike, right?
Yeah, I think you're right. I'd have to go back and watch the broadcast, but I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So, no, I like the tire thing. I'm like I said, I'm a big believer in those tires. If you want to dive real deep into it, I liked the MX-11 better than the MX-12. But that MX-12 has rounder side lugs, so when you do get into that harder stuff, it kind of rounds off a little bit. But also, it's real pointy, I guess you could say, paddly in the center. So, I mean, I think that's a great all-around tire for Daytona. But I guess when I brought it up, I sounded like an idiot previously.
Yeah,
but
I don't know. I feel like that track is hard enough most places now that you didn't need it. I mean, if you were running that paddle to literally get through that sand section, you were giving up on everything else. But if they had the bike set up where it would work with the paddle around the whole track, well, then it doesn't seem quite so stupid. But I don't know.
I think
was
the corners
definitely
were soft
interesting.
enough. Yeah, I think the normal corners were soft enough to make it work. And that beachy sand section, if you're picking up a half second a lap, like, that's worth it right there.
Especially going inside where you got to get that dig.
I was going to say,
Oh,
I think the biggest thing they were really talking about with the tires was the start, because you got like that red clay start area. That's where the guys were losing
Spinning off
it.
the gate.
Yeah. So,
yeah, it might not have been that great on that start. I don't know where McAdoo was off the start. We'll use him for an example, but he came through the pack, and I'm 90% sure he was on that tire.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure you're
You
right.
know, it's interesting you say it about the start, because the start, as every round, I mean, they saw Eli Tomac hits the whole shot and he goes and wins. Well, if you're thinking about putting the tire on like this, I think this is a lot of what Star was thinking about. You're picking a tire for the start versus picking a tire for the rest of the sand section and all the other bullshit. If you're thinking about the start only, it makes you really curious, especially right after the gate.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I know Alex Martin was probably running that thing. He's always running that bad boy. And, like, even, like, guys, I don't know. Kev must personally not like that tire, because I asked him the same thing at Redbud. I'm like, hey, you're running the scoop? Nah, too hard of a base. But even at Redbud, dude, that tire is good, and especially on a deep start at Redbud.
Dude, I run that tire at Redbud until, like, if I have like a late moto in the afternoon, then I'll swap. But other than that, yeah, I'm running that scoop at Redbud, because that place is fucking
Run that
deep.
scoop everywhere, dude. I remember back in the day, all the Baja boys would come over and run that shit at Log Road.
I think you're a little crazy running it at Dutch, but you know that's just Dutch. Log Road, I think you
Dutch,
get away with it.
The first practice is always thick as chocolate cake at Dutch, so that's not such a bad idea.
Yeah, I mean, amateur racing, if you're a good enough rider, you can make that tire work. And if it's 5 laps, all you need to start. Like, let's be real. An amateur guy.
One gets out front, look out, he's gone.
Maybe for a lap. But I could probably learn how to ride a wide bike. I don't like to ride a wide bike, but I could probably get pretty good at it.
You want to know?
No.
Want to know who rode a wide bike last night? Cooper Webb.
Yeah, did you guys get into that move yet? What do you guys think of all that?
We have not. This is the first time I brought it up. I think it's fantastic because it set Kenny off, and all it's going to do is create drama for us, which is going to be fucking phenomenal.
Hey, what did I say on the last show?
Game, 100%.
Remember what I said on the last show?
No, I don't remember.
I believe I said the mind games are going to start, and Coop is better at them. And boom,
yes.
there they are.
Well, hey,
So-
you know, Coop likes to play games, but so does Kenny. Kenny plays games, baby.
Yep. I've never seen him play games, but it will be interesting to see if he can play that game because realistically, when has he ever been in a title fight that was super contested? I mean, I don't think he had to play mind games when he won his West title. Tomac just choked. Both of his outdoor titles were, I mean, fairly easy. I mean, the one on the Suzuki, he had no competition at all.
No.
The first time on the KTM, I don't believe the points were very close on that one either. So it's going to be really interesting to see how he handles it, I think.
I think that the Cooper Webb is perhaps the best racer mind we have. The best bulldog, just junkyard dog mean coming at you for the win. I think that he perhaps has the edge over everyone else in the 450 class.
Yeah, and I really hope Supercross Live or whoever runs the media stuff has a mic down on the gate next to Webb. I want to hear what kind of shit he's saying on the fucking line.
I bet it's epic.
Hey, especially if he lines up next to Roxon, which he did in Daytona. I believe they started next to each other. So I wonder if there's more to the story there. Yeah, I wonder if there's more to the story there, and then the move to set it off. And you could tell Roxon wanted him back. Like they were coming out of the tunnel, he stuck that fender in him pretty hard.
He did, yeah.
But I go back to Roxon. He needed to change his lineup in the sand. Like he kept going to the outside, and he was losing the time he gained up every lap right there. If he would have started going to the inside a lot quicker, I think he could have set Webb up for the whoops and made the move. I think. I mean, if you watch it back, like I was just so frustrated because Webb would hit the inside in the sand, do that little do some surfing there, and Kenny would go to the outside every lap, and he just couldn't lay it into that berm because it was blown out and the rut was shitty, and he would lose half a second, I would say, right there every time, and then gain it back in the rest of the track. So I mean, I'll point to that too. I think that was a big problem and why he couldn't get the move done or catch him or all the above.
Yeah,
I don't know if you guys noticed that or not.
Well, I definitely liked how they sized that or like made that sand section and then put like an actual berm on the outside. I like that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
The problem was, like you said, by the time we got to the 450 main, that fucking berm was so blown out that like you couldn't do a run.
Yeah, and
through
looking at it from a rider's standpoint, like you're tucking the front wheel, like you're barely even in dirt, you're just floating, and then you hit a clay wall. Like that's got to be so weird to try and figure that out. Like, because you're expecting the bike to slide, and then you got to throw it into a clay berm and then go back to the sand. I mean, that's got to be interesting too.
Yeah, I wonder if they'd have been better off like building it and then just burying it in sand.
I don't know. Definitely an interesting section for sure, and caused a lot of chaos. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, 100%. Well, dude, the inside of that was the inside corner there was gnarly in that sand section. I mean, dude, the braking bumps coming in there were absolutely. When you're watching pro 450 guys go in there, and they look like 65 kids at Redbud, like, dude, it was nuts. So
yeah, and that line that corner just reminds me of going and riding at Silver Lake, because you build like a turn track or ride a turn track at Silver Lake in the dunes. Every time you're hitting that corner, it's different.
Yeah.
So
Ditto.
yeah, I mean,
Oh.
track was I think the best one that we've seen in Daytona in quite a few years, in my opinion.
Oh yes, 100%.
You guys feel the same way?
Yeah, I feel that way too.
Yeah.
It's
And
almost
then
a shame that wind was grinding up because instead of having like real, fully like it was ruddy and rough. Don't get me wrong, but it gets different when it's wetter.
yeah, and I was very, very surprised that the track turned out as well as it did from some of the photos that I had seen and shit like that.
Mhm.
From earlier in the morning of the storm coming in. So
Was anybody?
Man, I'm thinking back to what was it, 04, 05, the big mutter.
Oh yeah, 05.
Cat Reed's white eyes, 1 lap to go, or the last lap.
that was 08. 08, Reed. Yeah, Reed won the title that year, right? 08.
I don't know.
Whitman
05.
won it.
05 was a mutter
05
too, though.
was 2 strokes.
Oh okay.
Yeah.
That's when Carmichael put it in the pavement. 05.
Was
My
anybody
good
else?
buddy Jake Marzak got a podium with that putter because Reedy Reedy blew it up and he ended up on the podium. Best
Yeah, Marsack, Michigan boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And he was just chugging along doing that Michigan mud dance. Chugged it along and put her in the third, which is pretty damn cool.
Was anybody
Not
was anybody disappointed that we didn't see anyone launch that wall all day?
go to Sexton's Instagram. Are you very active on Instagram?
No.
Okay, so they talked about it in the broadcast where Sexton had chipped his tooth and black eyes and all that.
Yeah, I heard that.
Oh yeah.
From that wall, he went from the wall into the single and went a little long and faced that table. That
That's a
was
huge
probably
leap right there.
very James Stewart influenced.
Yeah, I feel like that. That's a huge
But-
leap.
Yeah, if you go to his Instagram, it shows him doing it, and he went long and faced right into that table pretty hard.
Well, now I'm gonna have to go check that out.
It reminds
after
me of
done.
that one. I don't know if you ever rode it at Freestone, Cole, but it reminds me of that one where you're jumping off of that wall into the rollers of Freestone.
Oh yeah. Baggett made that thing pretty famous.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Hit the
when
moon,
Baggett,
come back down.
when Baggett was skying that thing.
All I know is
But
I was watching the press day videos going, is anybody going to jump that wall? Because the distance, like, it was big, but it wasn't, like, that big. And that wall was not as steep as, like, what year was it? Like 14 or something? When was Stu jumping the fucking wall right before
11.
he quit? 11? Okay. When there was that huge, and it was, like, steep, and it was just absolutely skying you into, the stratosphere or whatever. It wasn't quite like that. It was much more of just like a speed check wall, but it wasn't that steep. So I was like watching the press day videos. I'm like, dude, you could probably, you could probably jump onto the table from there, especially with the amount of speed they were coming in.
Yeah, where I was at with it though is, yeah, it's cool to do that, but it definitely wasn't very efficient and fast because you're in the air, like just jumping over to that thing. Meanwhile, guys are powering down the other side and making up a couple bike lengths right there in itself.
Yeah.
I mean, for the fans and stuff, yeah, that's awesome and cool. But let's face it, these guys are racing. This ain't freestyle, so.
Well, whatever. I'm going to have to go check it out on Sexton's thing. I was super bummed when they said during the broadcast that, oh, yeah, he jumped it and just completely annihilated his face on the bars. And I was like, oh, man, we didn't see it. Because I thought for sure somebody would do it. Like somebody in practice or something was just going to go rocket ship on it, which I guess they did, but we didn't see it. So whatever.
Mhm.
It's funny you say that we didn't see it because yesterday, every one of those red flags, I was like, well, what the hell made them red flag it? Like, because it was for whatever reason, like a few minutes before they even show what happened. What the hell's going on here? The most red flags ever. And next thing you know, all of them are, you
Didn't even have any of them on TV.
Yeah, exactly. It was.
Hopefully Crown's all right. I know he hit his head pretty good.
Yeah, he was
previously and was having some issues, and at some neuro doctors and stuff like that. So I hope that's not a real long-term deal for him.
Have you heard what happened to Harrison?
No. What they put Oldenburg's motor in?
I don't know. I haven't heard anything either. Because I had him for fantasy, so that's why I'm like, what the fuck
I know
happened
you
to him
did.
in the main?
Oh, I know you did.
Him and Sipes. Yeah, dude, I don't want to talk about it. But anyway,
Yeah, I took Sipes. I wasn't too thrilled about Hardy Munoz.
Hardy Munoz is a fucking clown. I'm just going to put that out there right now. That motherfucker was taking the stupidest fucking lines to clean people out. That was the only lines he was fucking taking in corners all night, and he's a fucking chucklehead, okay? Every fucking corner. You watched him do it in every fucking corner. He went straight to the exit.
Is this because you took your fantasy guy out, or
No, he did it to somebody else later too. Like they showed multiple times Munoz was on the fucking screen during the broadcast, and every fucking time he's not taking corners, he's going straight to the exits. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Which it really sucks because during fucking didn't he race outdoors and he did pretty decent or something? Or am I thinking of somebody else?
He got 93. He's got a number.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know, but I'm just like, dude, you're literally just going straight to the fucking exits of corners. Like, I'll give you that Sipes turned down early there on that corner, but where the fuck was Munoz going? Because he was not riding that fucking corner. You want to talk about a race tech rant?
That wasn't on Munoz. That's what we're talking about now. That wasn't on Munoz. He's riding along the same apex everybody else kind of is, right? If somebody cuts down,
on that one.
I will give that one was a mix, but his entrance angles into corners were fucking terrible all night.
Hey, did you see during the red flag Jerry Robin ride up next to him and was giving him an earful and then gave him a brake check on the pavement? Did you guys see that?
No, I didn't. I'm gonna have to go back and watch this broadcast again because I feel like there were some things I missed in it. But yeah, but definitely, it doesn't surprise me though. Like I said, he was riding like a fucking clown.
That's Champ Quality. You gotta love him.
I got one for you, Travis. So I tweeted this during the race. I was during that whole LCQ thing, I was like, this has got to be an emotional roller coaster for some fantasy owners. So how are you feeling during all that?
Oh my God, dude, I was so mad because I had Harrison in there and he was the only dude that I needed to get in to the main.
And I know a lot of people at Master Pool.
Yeah. And so I'm like watching it and it's like we get the first start and it's like, oh shit. But then we were kind of okay, and then the red flag comes out. Then the second start, we were real good. I think we were like fucking leading or like second or something. And it was like, oh yeah, all right, here we go. And then boom, red flag. And I'm like, son of a bitch. And then we get to that third start, and we're like buried. And I'm like, God damn it. Am I seriously like this is what's happening? After he was in position in the heat, and then his fucking motor blows up. Oh man, I was so mad. So. Yeah, I don't know.
think it blew up. That was something weird because he still idled off the track.
Yeah, well, whatever happened to it, something happened that all of a sudden the bike fucking quit for some reason. So,
yeah, he hasn't had much luck with bikes, huh? Did the solitaire thing.
Yeah,
that was trash.
Yep.
This doesn't look too good so far.
Nope. That PC bike last year was all right. So,
I mean, outdoors, yeah.
Time Master Pool coming out and at least getting some time out front for a little bit, even if it was just a quality.
Yeah.
Really good for him. Real good for him, especially all the doubters on his Supercross escapade.
Yeah, after having seen him do so well outdoors, and then you're like, okay, well, let's see what you got indoors. It's only his second week on the job for being a Supercross rider, but he's doing. He's got the speed, right? Just kind of watch his development.
Yeah.
Yep. And he doesn't have half the time on a Supercross as a lot of those guys. So
no, not at all.
I was happy to see that, and I hope he has kind of like a chip on his shoulder. Like, yeah, I wanna prove something in Supercross just because nobody said I could do it, kind of thing. So.
What do you guys think of Thrasher and Fry so far?
I'm just going to go back to Coach Rob's comments and use those.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anybody out there listening? What do you think, Tom?
I think I'm watching those young guys figure out. They got a little, obviously there's a lot of shit to learn when you're going from B class or whatever to be in pro supercross, but for being such a steep learning curve, I mean, it's interesting to watch these guys.
I bet they're getting an earful again this week because that was not impressive rides out of either of them last night. Again, so
And the one guy that surprised me the most, and we talked about him a lot when Coach Rob was on the phone, was Pierce Brown.
dude,
He wasn't down in the Brown,
nope,
and he podiumed.
Yeah.
Who saw that coming?
nobody.
Mm-hmm.
I did not see that. I didn't see Styles Robertson getting second.
Hey, I picked him, by the way.
Yeah, well, fuck you.
Hey, guess who else I picked?
I don't want to know.
Every year since this man has been on a 450, despite how shitty his seasons have gone, his AP ran damn good at Daytona every time. So I picked him. And I don't know how his man went.
You want to
He
talk?
did it for Dale.
He did it for Dale, but you want to talk about how that last straightaway he just doubled through it, not paying attention, like situational.
I don't think he realized what was that close.
Situational awareness at an all-time
There's
low.
no way he did it on purpose. There's no way.
You want to bet?
No, there's no way he did that on purpose. But in his mind, I mean, yeah, it might have an outcome on the championship and affect that. But in AP's mind, he's like, fuck yeah, I proved what I needed to prove tonight. I'll take a podium.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I think if he had more fitness, man, he would have been even more of a contender. Because he had the gap closed on Tomac for a little while during that main.
He did look
Same
really
thing
good.
in the heat race, dude. So I think it was more of a fitness thing. Because the speed was definitely there. So stoked for him.
You think
especially
AP's
being
beating up?
a local. I hope so. I think he's been consistently a top 10 guy. I don't think anybody's realized that all year. He's been in the top 10. The first moment where I was like, all right, this dude's back is when I don't know what round it was, but they switched the camera around to him and he's chasing AC down and passing him. And I was like, I think you boys got to worry about him. I think he's picking up steam. So, which is awesome. And then I heard some things about his contract, how different it is this year. So the Star contract is a little looser. Before Yamaha, they had him tied down like he was in a jail cell kind of thing. So AP, he's a guy that likes to have a little fun off the track. And in his Yamaha contract, from what I had heard, and this is a guy that knows some people, he had no drinking policy and shit like that in his Yamaha contract.
Wow.
No shit. No wonder Chad left.
Yeah. So whereas Star, they let him be a little looser and have fun. And I think this goes to where some guys need that, man. Like, I don't know if you ever seen the Michael Jordan documentary and they talk about Dennis Rodman.
Oh yeah.
And Dennis Rodman was just like, don't talk to me. I'm going to Vegas for 4 days. Went on a bender, came back. They won the next game. Like, sometimes that's just how those guys operate, and I think that's proven to be a good thing for AP. So I'm sure he
Well,
was.
you know what that means, Cole? That means if you're trying to do some pro-ams this year, we're gonna have to go on a bender for the weekend before.
Maybe. I don't know. I told these guys if they want me to do that thing, let's see some money in an account.
Sometimes you can ride a little guilty and you have a little bit of a piss off thing to you.
Yeah. I told these guys to start raising some money and then maybe we do it. But
we'll call
see.
Rusty next show. I'm sure Rusty will be in on this.
All right, we'll cold call him, see what he says.
So, all right. So who you guys? Now we're a couple races into this West Series here. So you guys think this is still Cooper's to lose, or you think McAdoo's going to give him a run for his money?
Oh, I don't think we're far enough in to say that truthfully.
All right.
From what I've seen so far, I think that McAdoo definitely has the momentum. He's coming off 2 real big confidence-building rides, especially that ride last night. And I don't know if Cooper has the mental stability. I mean, we've seen it. He's come out swinging every year and then just has a slump and starts shitting the bed. So
It didn't look like it last night, but that could be a lot.
yeah, I mean, last night came through the pack, but there were a lot of mistakes while he was coming through the pack. And we typically don't see a lot of mistakes out of Cooper. Very smooth guy, awesome riding style. And he almost put it into the side of the tunnel. A couple other different things. So I don't know, man. I think McAdoo is going to give him a run. I mean, if you look back to the first round in Orlando, McAdoo paced him, and I think it was going to be a different story if there wasn't a red flag for Amart. So I don't know, man. I'm on the train that McAdoo is going to do some good things this year, and he's got great people in his corner. He's got a guy like AC to model himself after. And I think you can see that in his interviews and the way he carries himself too is kind of a lot like AC. So, I don't know, man. I don't know a lot about him, but from what I've been seeing lately, I'm starting to kind of like the guy.
Seems like a really nice kid. I felt super bad last night when he's like, "Yeah, my mom is sitting up in 365," and I'm like, "Really? Y'all couldn't like your mom?"
Oh, and he put a jab on the COVID.
Oh yeah, dude, that was hilarious. But I'm just like, I still felt bad. I'm like, dude, your mom can't even be down there with you right now. Like, fuck off.
Yeah. Yep.
Quite a first win there.
Yeah.
Your mom's in from Iowa, and she's in the 300 nosebleeds.
Yeah.
Watching with binoculars.
That was a wild thing to hear said there. But yeah, I don't. So I guess I don't really know. I think we're gonna have a good battle. We always say like, oh, we don't have enough information, but yeah, we all make comments after each race, you know. And like last week, you watched Justin Cooper come out and just dominate, and you go, oh, Cooper's got this. You know, I heard a lot of comments about like, well, Martin's out, so I guess Cooper's going to walk to this title or whatever. And then last night he has issues. McAdoo scores the win. McAdoo's got the points lead. I mean, I think once we get through the Dallas, what are they calling it now when we go to these 3-race things?
I don't know.
3 weekers?
No, they keep saying it. Oh, residency. I think once we go through our Dallas residency here, and knock out 3 more races here with the West Coast guys, I think we're then going to have a better picture of this title here with this. I'm very tempted to say that I think it is a 2-horse battle, much like you have the Craig and shit. Why am I blanking on his name now?
Colt Nichols, come on,
Craig
man.
and Nichols on the
Come
East Coast.
on, guy.
Bro, I had a brain fart. Leave me the fuck alone.
It was a long time.
I was say, yeah, I don't even remember who the fuck was racing on that coast other than Jet. Which, by the way,
is Martin coming back?
Jeremy is shooting for, I think Atlanta is what they said. I don't think he was coming back for Dallas. Like his shoulder is pretty fucked up from what I understand. So we'll see.
I think that could get interesting too, because we say there's not team orders in the sport and all that bullshit, especially when it's Star Yamaha. And how do you think that's going to go? You think Jeremy's going to do some team order stuff and get in the way?
Not a fucking chance.
Why is that?
Because J-Mart doesn't act like that. They'll tell him
Well,
that.
he's going to act like that because he went out on a limb to get that ride back.
They'll tell him that, but I don't think he.
And I think he's going to do whatever the fuck they tell him to do.
I don't know. I would be highly surprised to see that out of J-Mart. Because J-Mart doesn't like anybody.
He wants a 450 ride. I think he's got an option in his contract. It sounds to me like if he gets an outdoor title, he gets a 450 option.
Speaking of 450 rides, you want to hear some wild shit I heard this week? I heard.
Oh, is this your Fortner thing?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
What? I mean, dude, I heard from
Let it rip.
Spill the beans.
I heard from a fairly credible source that Forkner,
which podcast was it?
Already has a signed
Main Event
deal
Moto?
to go to Factory Kawasaki next year because they thought Eli was going to retire. And so now they're like, what the fuck are we going to do? Because as far as I know, I don't think Eli is retiring. Maybe, but I don't know. And then, obviously, Forkner hasn't won a fucking title yet, which they also thought was going to be a thing fairly easily, and instead he just keeps throwing them away. So so that definitely creates an interesting predicament.
That is
I can't
interesting.
believe Fortner would go up already. He's so light and young still.
Yeah, and that is an interesting thing, but it's been proven time and time again in our industry and our sport. Contracts don't mean a fucking thing.
Very
That's
true.
true.
Very
It's
true.
really unique to motocross too. I've never seen any other sport where your contract is just a piece of paper.
Yeah, put it in the shredder.
Protect
I don't
the
think
team.
Fortner's
And
smart enough to get a
ride
lawyer
the-
either.
Shit. What was I just? Damn it. Now I'm blanking because I just had something else. Tom. So
Why would you think that he would go to 450s already?
that it was
Just 'cause the money's
said
better?
it was said that has been done. Like it was done. It's not even a thing that's been done recently. This was like a year or two ago when he re-signed his deal that it was to go to 450s in at this year, yada yada yada, whatever. Like Kawasaki, I think was hedging their.
Get to get his two-stroke or his 250 titles. That's a bummer.
Yeah, well, again, who knows if it's going to happen? I mean, we talked to Coach Rob last week, and he said that he doesn't think that Pro Circuit's going to re-sign Forkner. Period. He thinks he's out. He's done.
Wow.
So, yeah, I don't know it, but it was it was definitely something interesting to hear being said of like, well, Forkner's already got a 450 contract. What the fuck do you mean Forkner's got a 450 contract? He's won what? 10 races, 16 races. Was that what it was? Something like that. So why the fuck would you give him a 450 contract? He doesn't have any titles. Hell, even giving J-Mart a 450 contract would be more worth it. All you got to think is if you give J-Mart a 450 contract, you're giving him a contract to ride outdoors and win you a title there. And then as far as Supercross goes, you're just basically putting up with him.
Yeah, that's. I'm out on Fortner. I'm just all the way out.
I mean, it definitely makes things
Yeah, not far
interesting.
behind you.
Speed's there. I mean, we can hold on to that, but man, he's got a lot of other shit going on.
The silly season rumors are flying hard already. I've also heard that the reason that none of the Rockstar guys are signed for next year is because Rockstar is still not signed on as the title sponsor for next year for Husky. So, and we've heard before that Rockstar might go away. So you take Rockstar out of the picture, where the fuck are they getting money at that point then? I mean, at that point, you got to think Husky just steps up and says, okay, cool, well, we've got to field a couple-man team here anyway. So
I don't think, well, it's a real weird time because of everything in the world right now, but I don't think it'd be that hard for a KTM-based team to find another title sponsor, even if it isn't energy drink. Well, hopefully, frankly, for the sport, it isn't another energy drink. I don't think it would be that hard for them to come up with a title sponsor.
Geico Honda went away.
I mean, this is true, and I still think that was a surprise, mostly on Honda's behalf.
Yeah, that was definitely interesting
like
that Honda just
half.
let that fade away. But yeah, when you say something like that, it's like, well, Geico Honda just went away, and they had a lot of titles on the side of that trailer, and they had a lot of good guys signed up to ride, and it was only a couple $1 million a year they needed. So they,
the one mystery to me, the thing that's strangest to me about the whole thing is that while the whole world is fucked up from last year, I know more people right now with new bikes within the last 12 months than I've ever known in my whole life.
100%.
My whole entire life.
100%. I'm one of them.
I'm another one. I got a new bike. All my boys went and got new Huskies.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't know, but then you also have the rumor mill flying around that like Anderson's not going back. That who was the guy that owned the Rockstar team?
Bobby Hewitt.
Bobby Hewitt.
Yeah, well, Bobby's been out of that team for over a year now, and supposedly he's coming back and starting another new team because he wants back in. So I've heard that Ando is going to ride for that new team next year and not ride for the Husky team. So then you basically have, the 250 kids, Dino and Zacho. And is Zacho riding again next year?
Dino, if Rockstar pulls out, Dino is gone because that contract is all all rock star for Dino.
Yeah. I don't know. It makes things super interesting. There's a lot of contracts that are up this year, and there's going to be a lot of moving pieces come 2021 or 2022 silly season here.
I mean, last year
We're going to need a lot more sponsorships from the Motor Aftermath show, that's for sure.
Oh, fuck, dude. I wish, man. God, I wish we were making that kind of cash. Shit.
Well, look what it's done for Mr. Moranz. I'm so happy to see, although he didn't qualify yesterday.
LCQs. Leading.
I would say we didn't qualify yesterday, but boy, we were on TV because we lined up right next to Dino, and we were on TV for a while. Like, so long that I, like, watched it, was like, fuck yeah, we're on TV. Sat there, was like, I should probably take a picture of this and send it to him. Got my phone out, and, this is a long process, and then was about to take a picture, and then they finally went away from that shot, but I was like, wow, we were just on TV for a long fucking time. And then he whole shots the fucking race and leads, which, as he's leading, I'm just going, oh, God. Oh, God.
Did you watch qualifying at all?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I watched most of it.
They had the camera on him for a long time, and they were just talking about how great he was for his sponsors and stuff.
Yes, that was awesome too.
That was sick too.
Yeah, we're definitely getting a lot of stuff. Oh, speaking of that, Cole, if I send you my logos in a PNG file, can you cut the background out on them? I'm not tech savvy enough to make that happen.
Dude, literally Google background remover.
Bro, the last time I Googled something or used YouTube to try to make something in like Photoshop or After Effects or whatever, it took me like 4 hours for something a dude did in a 10-minute video, and it still looked like shit when I was done.
Dude, Google
You
background
working with
remover.
crayons over there? What's happening right now?
Bro, I suck at technology. Like,
All right, bro. Send them over.
All right.
I got the janky logo that you sent me, but it wasn't the PNG file.
well, I have 2 PNG files. When I'm sitting at the computer here,
Give me those.
I'll email them to you. One for the coatings and one for the Moto Aftermath. And yes, if you can cut the backgrounds out on
Send
those,
them.
would be awesome. Kev needs them.
Send
So
Send them right now.
I can't send them right now.
I'll even change the color.
I'm in the shop. I'm not I'm not at a computer. So okay. So let's getting off the racing thing here for just a second. I was listening to a
Great radio.
well, it's still moto related. I was listening, and this is more Cole. Cole would know this because Tom, I know you're busy and you don't get to do this kind of shit. I was listening to a Tanner Fox podcast with Buttery the other day.
With Buttery?
Yeah,
I listened to it too.
bro.
High 7 figures. That kid's fucking high. No way.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
You don't think he's doing high 6 figures on merch alone?
For 6 figures. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't think so.
Wait, what?
So do you
When
know
he
who?
dropped, he was getting that kind of money at like when he dropped Logan Paul numbers. Like, there's no way.
Do you know, Tom? You know who Buttery Films is?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was on a podcast, and they were basically saying, "Do you know who Logan Paul is? Like the YouTuber?"
Yeah.
Yeah. They were basically saying
I
that,
didn't
like,
know he was a YouTuber. I just know him from all the fighting stuff and everything else.
yeah. So he's a big ass YouTuber. Like, we're talking millions upon billions of views on YouTube, right? And I mean, they were saying that Buttery is doing Logan Paul numbers merch wise. So yeah, I don't know, but it was definitely
Telling to who?
according to him.
Nah, Tanner
I'm
Fox
not
was
saying.
saying
Who's he
that.
selling
He
it
never
to?
really
Is he selling
confirmed
all
it.
these t-shirts to his grandma or something? Holy shit.
I don't fucking know.
Wow.
I don't know.
The shit's
Tanner Fox
Time
has
for you to
some
start
really good
printing
people
t-shirts,
around there,
boys.
too. If you know Tanner Fox's story.
Not really. I know he's like some fucking scooter kid, and he makes YouTube videos, and he has a big following, but I don't really know why. So
Well, he started making YouTube videos. So I'm going to try to keep it real short, but he got all this money, and then whoever is around him is very business oriented, must be.
yeah,
'Cause he used all this money to get a GTR, made this GTR super crazy and sweet,
yeah, Godzilla.
and then somehow Hot Wheels got involved, and they made Hot Wheels cars of this kid's car. And then
I have that Hot
he
Wheels.
has the #1 selling scooter on Amazon. So
Yep.
he's getting all that. And then he has his merch company. but he also distributes merch for all of these other YouTubers' brands.
Ah.
And then I was doing some looking earlier, and I went to click on the brand to see what the merch brand was and the distribution company's name. Go to their Instagram, and they're doing Christian Craig's merch now.
No shit. That doesn't surprise
So
me,
all
though.
of this Christian Craig's merch is coming through this Tanner Fox kid, and this Tanner Fox kid has no idea who the fuck Christian Craig even is.
Well, maybe he does. Who knows?
He didn't know anything about motocross when he was talking to Buttery, did he?
Not especially, but all those SoCal kids know each other, so fucking who knows?
Yeah.
But-
Those Temecula videos are gnarly.
Yeah, but I don't know. When they were talking about that, I was like, we have to get our merch game going. We have to get our merch game going hard. Like, fuck, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy, I'm working on that. My own.
Yeah, but it all starts with the following.
Well, yeah. We got, I mean,
Buttery had 300,000 or more before he even started doing merch.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Well, I guess we better step that shit up then.
But now he's shadow banned on Instagram.
Yeah, that was interesting too, that he was shadow banned there. I wonder what that was for. I wonder if it's because he just shows this crazy shit that's like at the parties or whatever or something. I don't know. I don't follow him, so
I
I
don't
don't
know
fucking
either.
know.
Yeah. But yeah, that's enough of Buttery.
Yeah.
Statler boy call out. I want to race him.
But anyway, back to the back to the race at hand here. Daytona. So Eli Tomac ties Ricky Carmichael's record. I'm not sure if you guys heard that 27 times last night, but Tomac tied Carmichael's record.
Speaking of Ricky, you want to know something hilarious?
Wait, hold on. Before you tell me that, did you know that Tomac tied Ricky's record last night?
No, I didn't hear that.
Oh, okay, cool. I just want to let you know. Tomac tied Ricky's record at 5. Ricky's okay with it though. He's cool.
Oh, nice.
He's totally cool.
All right.
Okay, back to you. What were you saying?
Well, Ricky was tooting his horn about how great the track was all night. And then Webb's heat race interview, Webb goes, yeah, the track's kind of shitty.
It was great. Oh, it was great. I don't know. I didn't think that track was that bad, though.
I thought it was pretty good.
For a Daytona, I thought
that was one of the better Daytona tracks.
Yeah, because we only had that one little switch back there right off the start. Other than that, it was really long straightaways and stuff, so that was cool.
Yep.
So
and the tunnel really helped.
Yeah. The other thing I liked about it too, those kind of off camber finger jumps after the tunnel, I felt like they did a really good job building those the way they drew them up, as far as like so that one side was way higher than the other side, and it made options, and if you didn't hit the right spot, made it interesting. So I like those jumps a lot.
Yeah, I thought that was cool too. I enjoyed those.
Because
like I said, man, the whole track was good except for that death section before the finish.
Yeah, that was interesting too, because it didn't seem like it was that hard, but it also seemed like if you got off your rhythm, like the certain jumps weren't set up to jump off of. They were only landings.
I think that second one had a real big kicker.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. It was weird. But
took our man Crown down.
Yeah,
Crown in the brown.
But hey, we got ourselves a race in the 450 class here. I mean, Webb's what, 2 behind Kenny now, or is he 2 ahead? Kenny? Is he 2? He's still 2 behind, right?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So we got.
Just a minute, I got 250 stuff up right now. I got 250 points up right now.
Well, we don't care about 250s. We're on 450s now, Tom. Stay with the program here.
Well, let me pull it up.
We're all over the place here.
We are.
I don't think we're on any of it.
No, we have no set thing here. So, yeah, I don't know. It's a 2-horse battle, and then of course for the next week here we're gonna get nothing but Tomac's back in it. Tomac's back in it. He's not back in it. He won Daytona, which honestly surprised me. I was shocked. Was anybody else shocked that he won?
I was
a little.
He's only 24 points down with half a season.
He's not out of it, and it's going to take a lot for him to do it. But some of the runs we've seen him go on, oof.
Mm-hmm.
But we haven't.
When he sits off, or when he thinks he might retire, I could see it.
But we haven't seen any of it this year. I mean, even last night, Daytona, his place, he did not dominate. Okay, he got the whole shot, and he was out front.
Dominate.
And he
What do you
fucking
mean?
He went line to line. How much more do you want?
Yeah, he went wire to wire.
Yeah, but dude,
Managed
think
the
about
gap
how
from both of the.
No, think about how you watch Tomac win, okay? Tomac goes out and
Oh.
wins by fucking 20 seconds, okay? Especially at something like
They don't
Daytona.
ask they ask how many.
I'm just saying. From what we've seen, we have not seen Tomac show any real promise this year.
Travis, you don't think he dominated last night?
No. Not in the way that
You're
Tomac
cum
normally
drunk.
dominates. I'm not.
You're cum drunk.
He was what was his biggest gap on Aaron? 7 seconds?
How much do you
I don't know,
want?
but it was like 20 on Webb.
So he was but he was 7 seconds up on Aaron, okay? Which is second place. That's what I'm worried about. How far did he gap to second place? 7 seconds at the most. And that was a track that screamed Tomac, okay?
What's he got
High
to do?
speed-
Fucking
high
win
speed-
by 30?
He should have, dude. If in order,
right now, I was unimpressed.
Or look back and
I'm
see Aaron
fucking- I'm
Plessinger
very
in second and
unimpressed.
be like, or see Aaron Plessinger in second and be like, oh, I got this chump. Let me just cruise it in.
the only way I could have been more unimpressed last night would have been had he done something like last year where he followed Kenny around for fucking 19 minutes and then Kenny tips over and he passes him or something like that. That's the only way I could have been more unimpressed than what I was with that win he had last night. The only thing that impressed me about it is on the podium, he didn't seem like he was fucking out of breath. Outside of that, fuck. There was nothing impressive to me about him yesterday. He was not impressive in practice. He wasn't impressive in the heat, and he didn't impress me in the main in the way that Tomac should impress me, especially at a Daytona track that was that high speed. That absolutely screams Tomac. He should have won that race by 20 seconds in a normal year. However, this isn't a normal year. He's not showing any promise, and I think once we go back to Dallas next week, I think you're going to see the same thing. You might see somewhat of a resurgence. He might pull one off or two when we're at Atlanta because, again, we're outside. Those tracks look much like Daytona, long straightaways, that kind of stuff. You may see him pull something off in Atlanta, but other than that, I don't think you see him do much the rest of the year, to be really honest with you.
To win by 20 seconds at Daytona means that he has to be a second a lap faster than Cooper Webb, Ken Rocks, and Aaron Plessinger, Mark. All those guys.
He's Eli Tomac. That's what he
thing to pull
does.
off. And now if he
You're
doesn't
dumb.
have to, he goes out and wins. He still gets paid $250,000 or whatever. It doesn't matter if you win by second or by 20 seconds.
Then why don't you tell him that 4 years ago when he's out there winning? Dude, he would win races by 20 fucking seconds on a 43-second lap time track. I mean,
I'm not saying you're wrong there.
It was unimpressive compared to what we know Tomac can do. And it just continues into the conundrum that is Eli Tomac and the conundrum that is Eli Tomac in 2021 here. Reigning champ, he's won one race other than this Daytona race, which was very unimpressive. That race he won, very, very unimpressive. Other than that, we haven't heard shit out of him all year. I mean,
Well, he's still
A rather
24 out.
quiet year for him, for sure.
I mean, we're 9 rounds in. He's 24 points out of the title chase and has only won 2 races.
Sounds
I don't
he's
like
just about as
Tomac.
in as you can
I
be.
don't like Tomac, and that's been very clear. But 24 points and what he is capable of is not out of the question.
It would have to be a
Not to mention
major
the two guys
turnaround.
that he's really battling with, Cooper Webb and Ken Roxon. The chances of both of them making it the next 9 rounds or 8 rounds or whatever it is, the chances of both of them being healthy through the rest of it. Now let's just throw Barsha in there too. Isn't very good, right? So, how many times did we see Ryan Dungey win a title by being steady Eddie and getting some wins here and there?
Oh yeah, I mean,
Right.
I
agree.
I'm not saying it can't be done, and I'm not saying that we won't get another 3 weeks down the road and I look stupid because he's turned the ship around. But I'm just saying what I'm seeing right now, unimpressed. Every
Agree to disagree.
every one of these titles is a 2-horse race. You got Craig and Nichols. You got
Okay, I agree. It hasn't been super impressive for Eli's standards that he's given himself.
Thank you.
True.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying against anyone else. I'm just saying Eli Tomac against Eli Tomac standards. It looks like shit this year.
Okay. Yeah. Agreed.
2021, here we are. Weege makes this comment all the time because we always talked about how stacked every fucking field is. What are we down to? We're down to 2-horse battle in every single title fight. Like I said, Craig and Nichols, you got McAdoo and Cooper, and then you got Webb and Roxon. 2-horse battle. All 3 titles. That's all there is.
I would say 4 horses for the 450 easily. With 9 rounds left to go.
Who are your other 2? Tomac and who else?
Tomac and Barsha.
Barsha's out of it, dude.
Barsha's in 4th place.
Barsha's out of it. How many points is he out?
I don't know if you looked at the points, but he's definitely not out of it.
How many points is he out?
Oh, like 48.
Not a chance. No way.
I'm not saying that he's likely to go and win this cup, but I am saying that since he's already got 2 wins on the season, if he gets 2 more and some other guys have some not so great fortune, he's not out of it.
That's a lot of bad luck to a lot of guys. I mean, dude, you've got to have 3 dudes in front of you all have multiple bad nights. I just in only another 8 rounds. Like, I just don't see it.
Well, you got to at least not get Tomac out of it, because I wouldn't rule him out, especially if these allegations about retirement are in play. He's going to be giving her the next 9 rounds.
I will give you that Tomac has the potential to climb out of that hole he's in. The best, Barsha's not there. We have never seen Barsha rattle off fucking 4 wins in a row. And look, and I mean, I will agree with you wholeheartedly that this year is so much better than previous years for him. It's unbelievable. However, it's not life altering. Oh my God, the gods are placing their hand on him and telling him to win this title. Changing. It's better. It's a lot better, but it's not he's going to go out and bust out 4 in a row. Better.
I will tell, I suppose.
I'm out on that. 48 points, he's out. 24 points is pushing it. Now we have seen Tomac come back.
48. You said?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm out on Barsha with 48 for a title.
Do you mean to tell me that you think 50 West is a 2-horse race right now? You think that McAdoo and Cooper are the only 2 horses?
Yep. Who else has even looked?
We got March Finks, we got Hunter Lawrence, we got Jalix Spool, who might not be a contender, but he's going to probably be up there for some wins. We got
hang on a second.
Robert.
Why you brought up Jalip Swole? Travis will like this.
Oh boy, here we go.
Guess what article popped up on Twitter
Oh boy.
about Jalip Swole?
Go for it. What?
Okay, hang on a second. This is about his dad.
Oh God.
You want to know what the title of it is?
Yep.
All right. Ocala cocaine trafficker sentenced to 10 years for distributing cocaine and money laundering. James Brian Swole to 10 years in federal prison for distributing 5 kilos or more of cocaine and money laundering.
Wow.
He was also ordered to forfeit $350,000 worth of property that was traceable to the offenses.
Wow.
Pleaded guilty in November 14.
I mean,
Yep.
don't
Just
get me wrong.
Randall, or is he related?
Say what?
Is he just a Randall, or is he like his uncle or something?
It's his dad.
It's his dad.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's talking about Swole had a longtime source for large quantities of cocaine in South Texas. For more than 7 years, he obtained cocaine from Orlando something and trafficked it into the Ocala, Florida area. Yeah, there's a whole article on it.
Oh man,
Wow.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
Pretty wild, huh?
I feel bad for the kid that, your dad goes away to prison like that. That sucks, but that
I just thought
Wow.
it really lined up because there's that dude that comments on our videos all the time who just has this hate for Swole. His dad was a cocaine dealer and all this shit. So it's true, I guess.
interesting. Well, hey, did you like
You know
how
who's another guy we can't count out? We can't count out Jordan Smith. He might not be.
Oh, I'm all the way out.
He's like
Oh, no.
13th, but he might get a win or two.
No, I'm out. I'm 100% out on Jordan Smith. If he
I'm
wins,
out on
it would be
Smith, too.
shocking. If he wins a race, it would be shocking to me. If he finishes a fucking race, it would be shocking to me.
Wow.
Dude, did you see?
I'm gonna shit on Smith too.
He's 25
I'm gonna
years
shit all
old.
over his chest. He might
RV
get a podium.
retired when he was 25.
RC did. RC was 26.
Whatever. Close enough.
Villapoto
He's
was like
20.
28.
He's 25 years old. He almost won one title until, oh, wait, he fucking threw it on the ground when all he had to do was finish the fucking race. And other than that, he hasn't done shit. I feel bad for the kid because he can't stay healthy, but then this just goes back to what Coach Rob was talking about with us last week of when you get these fucking trainers that don't know what the fuck they're doing. Well, here we are. He's a fucking MTF kid. Shocker. And he can't stay fucking healthy. Weird.
Tons of skill on a pro circuit Kawasaki.
Yeah. And he'll be off a pro circuit Kawasaki after this year.
He can't keep it on two wheels, man.
This is it.
He can't keep it on two wheels with his speed.
He will be on privateer teams after this year until he decides he's going to retire. Maybe. And who knows if the privateer teams are going to sign him.
Smith and Fortner, the face of Hep Suzuki next year.
Yes. The Hep Suzuki 250 team.
Yep. Taking it. But
I'm a little surprised they're even going to continue to import Suzuki 250s.
Dude.
are they gonna? How long before those yellow bikes have a steel frame?
Fuck, who knows? That's fucking, I don't know. That is something else that's just like, how do you go from being like the top of the sport and then like now you don't even want to do anything with it? And it's like, it's not, all these Japanese companies just shock me because it's like, you guys make so much money on everything that isn't motorsports. Like, motorsports stuff is a drop in the bucket. Why are you not throwing every fucking dollar you can at it to just fucking make shit happen so that way you can at least move those units? I don't understand.
You know, the day that Roger DeCoster left Suzuki is the day that Suzuki went down the stream.
Well,
The very time that he left Suzuki, all the development went to KTM. KTM went through the roof. Suzuki still sells Kickstarters.
That is a very good point. They really have not done anything since Roger left. Yeah, that is a very, very good point.
You know,
although they did put Roxon on that bike and won on it, it was still the same bike.
yeah, and you know, there was one thing I heard a couple of years ago. I heard a rumor going around that they were actually developing a package that you could buy for like $2,000 or $3,000 that you could fucking. It was a 125 two-stroke kit that you could put in a 250F frame. So you would be able to buy a 250F, pull everything out of it, and then put this 125 motor in. So then you would basically be able to, I mean, you'd basically spend what, 10 grand on a 250F with the kit, and you would be able to go have your 125 to race until you got comfortable enough on big bikes that you could put the extra speed and then put the 250 motor back in and run it that way. And I thought that was a great idea. I was like, man, if this comes to
Let
light.
me just say, that sounds fun. I hope it's not an RM 125 engine because my RM that I'm building right now to womp on YouTube clowns this summer, my RM is the slowest 125 I have ever seen.
I mean, I don't know.
Those KTMs they make nowadays are rocket ships compared to that thing.
Yeah.
I'm
I
just
did
saying,
ride an RM250 back in the day, though, and that thing ripped. I'll give them that.
Mm-hmm.
250 smoker.
Hey, I'm just saying, this is all speculation that I heard from some sources that seems pretty reliable. So, like some developers at Suzuki that they were doing this. So,
Travis,
what?
I'm going to stop you.
Oh God,
Give
here we
you
go.
shit. Who is your reliable source that is not a podcast that you listen to?
First off, don't ask questions you don't want the answer to. Second off,
His name is Mr. Suzuki.
just know, that me and Mr. Suzuki, I have a direct line. Okay, it's like that. It's like that telephone they used to call to the moon when
Is
that
Mr.
happened.
Suzuki even alive?
I don't fucking know. Probably not. Probably died before
Okay,
Mr.
then
Honda.
that's not your source then.
Could be. Maybe it's his grandkids. Who knows? Live in wonder.
That's it. I just needed to bust your balls real quick.
Hey, all I'm saying is I have sources. Actually, I was listening to Whiskey Throttle the other day.
There it is.
No, that's not with the Suzuki source. It had shit. What was his name? The dude worked for Honda. And then Rick Johnson was on there too. But shit, what was
Dave
it?
Arnold.
Yes. I was listening to that, and they were talking about some of the shit they were testing way back in the day, and it was fucking wild. Like, I guess in the late 80s, early 90s, they developed a dirt bike that was fully automatic. Like, we're not talking like a Recluse auto clutch. We're talking that fucking thing shifted itself. And I think Johnson was talking about riding it, and he said, dude, it was the wildest thing, because he's like, since it auto shifted, he's like, you would be going up a face of a jump, and if you hit a certain point, it would auto shift to the next gear going up the face of the jump, and you would just be like, what the fuck? So, but I guess
fuck that, I'm
guess
out.
somebody rode it in a couple of the Japanese races and like won on it, and then whoever it was an American guy, but I can't remember who he said. And then I guess after he won like the second one on it, he looked at him and asked him like, "Are you going to develop this and I'm going to race it next year, or what are we doing?" And they were like, "No." And he was like, "Great, then I don't ever want to ride this fucking thing again." But there was some other shit. That was a super interesting podcast to listen to kind of get the not racer look, but like the management look behind some of the stuff they were doing, and just to hear about some of the technology. Like, they're talking in the 80s about like plugging computers into bikes as they're testing them and getting data. And I'm just and even Ping was like, they had like laptops were a fucking thing. I didn't even know laptops were a thing in the 80s. Like, that's wild. So yeah, I don't know. It's just crazy if you listen to that, you think about the technology they had in the late 80s, early 90s, and then you go to today, you're just like, dude, the shit we have today is what they had in the 90s that we have available to us. And now what the fuck? Tom, I mean, you sent me that picture of, what was it, one of the Honda bikes, and you were like, traction control is live, and sure as fuck, I mean,
Beautiful.
it is. It's got to be.
Cole, do you get to play with traction control on your new bike, or is that like an add-on thing?
That's an add-on thing for the gases. But to be honest with you, I never really used the traction control or any of that stuff. And I was watching. This was interesting. I was watching it with my buddies in between the race last night. Excuse me. A guy was dynoing a KTM 250F. And he was dynoing it back to back with traction control on and stock pipe versus slip-on pipe, all these different deals. And on the dyno chart, the stock pipe was just as good as the aftermarket. There was really no gain. So I thought that was interesting. I thought that was interesting that these guys were designing pipes right from the factory that are that good. So aftermarket.
Even a few years back, when I was with KTM, we would do a ton of testing with pipes, and there was only a small difference in all the pipes between the stock and the aftermarket, besides the sound and the specific spots on the range. But the only one that was really above beyond the stock one was the Acropolis, and that's one that we and most of the KTM teams ran. But for the rest of them, most of them were not only the same or similar power, but they were heavier than the stock one too. The stock one, for whatever reason, which is was really a surprising thing to me, was among the lightest. And some of them, like the Yoshimura at the time, was like twice the weight almost. It was unbelievable.
Yeah. I thought
that's not even like the off the shelf shit.
Yeah. So I mean, just to go back to your point, Travis, it's just kind of a proving point of how good these manufacturers' bikes are right off the floor nowadays.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have to go with what Tom said there. I have heard, I don't know if it was last year or the year before, somebody made the point of like, okay, so you go buy this aftermarket exhaust. They're like, they don't have anywhere near the hours into development of that exhaust as what the OEMs do. Because somebody was like making the point that the aftermarket exhausts weren't all they were cracked up to be. And so, yeah, and I mean, it really hit home of like, yeah, other than the OEMs, you have to choke it down to a certain extent to meet noise requirements and, emission shit, that kind of stuff. But outside of that, I mean, these OEMs have more R&D into each component of that bike that, unless there's something that you specifically know is better for a reason you're putting on there, for example, a more beefier shifter that's made out of billet instead of cast aluminum or something like that. You know, it's like you're probably not doing anything but paying for a look, a name, as you guys said, the sound of like the exhaust, which realistically, like, for example, my new 250F, I don't know, Cole, about your gas, but my new Yamaha 250F, I like the sound the exhaust puts out, other than the fact I hate the way it looks because it's just that, you know, OEM aluminum look. I don't like that. But as far as sound goes with it, I don't mind the sound that thing puts out. Now, granted, I would like to have, you know, the badge on there or something in the titanium look or whatever. But again, is that worth $700, $800 for me to have that pipe on there and that badge? Or is it, especially when it's like, because yes, I could see with like the sound thing on a lot of bikes too, of like the sound of an aftermarket pipe. There's just nothing that beats that sound. But if I like the sound it's putting out, other than the fact that it's fucking ugly, I just don't know if it's worth that $800 right away. You know, I would rather put that $800 into like wheels, I guess.
Well, from a guy that sells
aftermarket
products, go buy the pipe.
As your friend, I'm saying the opposite. As your friend, I'm saying you got to go faster before you need a pipe.
Yeah.
Well, all right, that could be a thing too. Yeah, I mean, whatever. Look, man, I just want to change the springs in my suspension.
You can look cool. I mean, looking cool is half the battle.
I do. I've always said if we're not going to go fast, we're going to look like we go fast. All right.
Yeah.
My bike's gonna look like I rip, and then you're gonna be like, "Yep, he makes a lot of money and just doesn't know what to do with it." But he looks like he can rip. That's all right.
I can't wait to get into the summer. I'm gonna start making some more videos for my YouTube channel that I have. I want to get into that a little more, but what I really want to do is go back and forth with pipes. So I have my FMF system, and I have that gas. But that gas right from the factory comes with a way longer header pipe. And that way longer header pipe, I guess, moves the power down into the lower end, I think, a little more. And obviously it does something good, because if you look at Roxon's header, you look at Hurling's header, all these guys have these super long header pipes. So what I really want to do is ride that stock system, pull it in, same track, everything all in one day, and then throw the full FMF system on, ride it, see how you feel.
Yeah, we've got a lot of video stuff to do this summer, Cole. Like a lot. So just get your batteries charged and get ready. Hello? Sorry, got some technical difficulties. The phone call quit. Oh, wait. Yo, that was weird. I don't know what just happened.
You hang up on me?
No, dude. It just like all of a sudden you like cut out and then nobody was there. Hold on, let me call Tom again here.
Get him in there, and then I'm gonna finish my point, and then I got a jet.
All right, that's fine. Yeah. Yo, Tom, you there?
There we go.
Yeah, that was weird.
Oh my gosh, Walmart internet.
Oh, dude. Yeah, T-Mobile, bro. All right, Cole, finish your point because I know you got to go. Yeah, we're back.
You want me to finish my point, my idea, my video idea?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I said that we have a lot of video stuff we got to do, so charge your batteries. But other than that, go ahead. Yeah.
All right, so Travis is going to be out riding, and I'm going to go by him like super fast.
Oh, boy.
And then the next clip is going to be him riding with nothing on but his helmet. Just go by him so fast his clothes fall off.
We can make this happen.
Yep.
Can I keep my spandex
we'll
on?
Go viral on TikTok.
Can I keep my spandex on though?
No, we're hogs out.
I don't want anybody to see my hairy ass. Okay.
We're wild hogs.
Oh God. Can I wear? All right,
flying in the wind.
I'll wear a mankini then. It'll be fine.
All right. No, I'm down with that. That'd actually be even funnier.
Yeah.
That's my final point, and then I gotta jet and get some stuff taken care of.
All right. Yeah, I gotta figure out when I'm calling Kev here too. So, Tom, you got
Yeah,
anything else you want to talk about race wise here before we?
Pick Kev's mind a little bit about where he's at with the 450 transition, because it's fun to watch our young man growing into a supercross racer. I mean, shoot.
They grow
You're
up
not
so
mad about
fast.
losing altitude. It's funny, but when you're growing into expecting to win altitude or expecting to be in the mains, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I want to know how much more comfortable he feels on that bike. And I want to hear how the suspension deal worked out. He said he was going to use his 250F suspension on the heavier bike and then hope it compensated for a softer setup in the Daytona track. Makes sense. So I'll be curious to how that worked for him, and if he did switch forks out or whatever he did.
Yep.
But from what he said, he was going to run the 250F stuff
Yeah.
on the 450 for the hybrid setup. So
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Like I said, I'm gonna call him here in a little bit. So he was at dinner and he was like, "Yo, let me call you a little bit." I was like, "All right, I'll call these guys first." So, all right. Well, thanks, boys. Appreciate it. Tom, thanks for picking up. Always great having you on the show. I know I need to do better
Yes,
at
sir.
giving you a more heads up instead of just calling you.
TLR, are you going heading down to Dallas for the triple header down there, or whatever we call the residency?
No, I'm headed to
hey,
Florida.
if Trav's buying, I'm flying.
Oh God, no, we're
We need
not.
that Moto Aftermath show to start making the views so we can start doing some on-site content.
We're working
If he's
on
buying,
it.
I'm flying.
We're working on. We're not flying to this one. No, I'm going to Florida on Tuesday for a week, so I'm out. I'm out. But yeah. So other than that, thanks, boys. Colt, we will talk soon with the. Well, I guess we'll talk Thursday for the what's it called?
Send that stuff over.
Yeah, and I'll
too,
email
so.
those pictures and stuff. So, all right, cool. Thanks, boys. Talk to you soon.
All right, later.
See you,
See you,
boys.
Tom.
All right, so that was awesome. Tom and Cole on there. Yeah. So we will take a quick break here, and then we'll try to get Kev on to talk about his first ride on an actual 450 in the 450 class, what the Daytona track was actually like, and things like that. So hold up. We'll be right back after this quick break.
Hello?
Yo, Kevin Moranz, welcome to the Moto Aftermath show, bro. How we doing tonight?
Yo, what's going on?
Oh, man.
We're feeling fine and dandy.
Yeah, well, you didn't wad yourself like everyone else last night, so that's good.
Oh, we surely got close on that first lap in
Oh, yeah.
the death rhythm or whatever they wanted to call it.
Oh, yeah. What was up with that? Was there like
Did
a
you see
kicker?
that?
Yeah. Oh, dude, my butt puckered for you on that one.
Yeah, so I had never hit that all day because obviously, like, in 450B / like, obviously I was in C the week before, but, like, those later qualifying sessions, the track is completely roached by the time we get on it because all the 250 goes, all the 250s go, then all the 450s, and then we're kind of just left with the straps. So the track's pretty roached by then. So I never really hit it. I just kept the simple line. But when your boy pulled that Holy finally, and he was out front, and it looked fresh, I was like, all right, screw it, we're going for it. And what the problem was is those jumps were pretty short, and they were very steep. steep. So as soon as I hit it, I mean, obviously I've hit supercross rhythms before, I expected, like, the lift to be normal, but it wasn't normal. It kind of kicked your front end down because it was a little bit shorter and a little bit steeper than normal. And it was obviously soft, too. So, like, that's just extra momentum that's wanting to take you over the front end.
Yep.
So as soon as I went for it, I kind of squished into the jump, I guess is the best way to put it. And my nose or my front end just went straight down, and I was full pucker panic crab, like, oh, my goodness. So barely clipped it, snuck by that, and then just kind of tried charging forward and doing what I could. So it was pretty good.
Yeah, I saw that, and like I said, not only was I full pucker for you, I was like, bro, let's just tone her back, okay? We're fine.
Yeah.
You did great. We've been on TV multiple times today. Like, we're good. Just ride her in. Let's get
And
to
we
Dallas.
pulled that whole shot, baby.
Oh yeah, we did.
Been
Oh yeah.
so close all freaking year, and we got it done.
Oh man, that was awesome because I was like watching that, and I'm like, wait, who's out front? Is that Kev? Is that? It is. Oh my God, we did one. Yes. Oh, I got so pumped.
Yeah.
So,
lined up right next to Dino and Starling. Some pretty solid dudes.
Oh my God!
So,
Have you watched the
we
broadcast
had
back?
McElrath in that one, so there were some factory bikes out there.
Oh, there was. Dude, there were some factory dudes in that, and I mean, like I said, did you watch the broadcast? Because you were on TV so long before that started, it was ridiculous. Like, to the point that I was watching it, you were on there,
Yes.
and I'm like, I should send him a picture of this. Took my phone out. Should I? Maybe. And then they finally took you off screen, of course, right as I was going to take a picture. And I'm just like, wow, we were just on there for a long time. And even the practice show, they talked about you forever on there.
Oh, yeah. I know. They hyped me up a lot. It's been it's just been awesome, dude. It really has.
It has. So how was the first week on the 450 here doing Supercross? Like actual 450, not your 250 in the 450 class.
Very good. I'd have to say, all things considered, I had a full Supercross setup coming in. So, like, I didn't have any kind of moto or hybrid setup. Like, it was just Supercross. That's all I really had. I will say I feel very confident on real Supercross on the 450. I really, really like it. The outdoorsy / Supercross, whatever the heck the Daytona is, didn't feel super comfortable with it. My bike just kind of felt rigid. Didn't feel like it, worked very well, but also you had to have it that way or else you're going to go head over heels like I almost did on lap one of that LCQ. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's very hard to find a happy medium unless you have a specific setting for something like that. That's maybe a little bit softer on the beginning of the stroke, and then when you get deeper into the stroke, it gets a lot stiffer.
Okay.
But long story short, with the riding, obviously pulling that whole shot was big, getting some more TV time, just getting the laps up there, battling with, kind of going back and forth a little bit with like Dino and those guys. So it was just a badass experience all the way around, to be really honest. So obviously we want to make the main. Getting a whole shot in the 450, LCQ kind of should require a transfer. But, I mean, shit, dude, that was my very first race of Supercross on a 450 period, and it was my second start ever on a 450 period. Because I'd never really worked starts before that because I never had a good whole shot device, like, low enough. So I took the one off the race bike 250 and put it on the 450. And clearly that bad boy is set right where it needs to be because he's working.
Yeah, that was awesome, man. That was awesome. So I know you said before, so you didn't run, because I think you mentioned, Cole said that you'd mentioned that you were gonna try to run like your 250 suspension on the 450 in hopes that it was like slightly softer for the like Daytona style track. So you didn't end up doing that? You just were running full Subi suspension on there?
I didn't. Just because I knew like there's obviously a little bit of extra weight on the 450, so like the settings are all different. There's different springs on the two different sets of suspension. So like I thought it was a good idea, but as soon as they like took free practice out of the loop, and I was like, it's not even like I'm just gonna run what I got, and
Okay.
I'll make it happen on what I have. You know what I mean?
Yep. So, all right. Well, that was cool. So outside of that, what was that track like? Like, what was that sand like? We watched it on TV. We all have commented on it, but what was it really like?
So sand section was better than I expected. Obviously, whenever you put sand in the Supercross track, it becomes pretty one line. I would have to say all night that was pretty halfway even. Obviously, when the smooth coming into the inside, you get hit the rut. I think that was better, at least 450 wise. But as we get into that LCQ / into those mains, it deteriorated enough on the inside that the outside became good, or the inside could be good at laps. So it was actually pretty good the way they had it set up with a solid berm on the outside instead of a sand berm.
Okay,
so
that wasn't weird at all, going from sand to clay to sand.
It was very weird because you're
Oh.
sitting there wishy-washy, front and back, and all of a sudden you hit that clay dirt-ish kind of dirt, and you stick, and like you're expecting to keep sliding, so then you don't. And then you hook up really well, so then it makes you make more mistakes. So, like, it was goofy, but it was needed, or else everybody was going to go to that inside line.
Do you think it would have been better had they just piled sand on top of it? So that there was, like, a solid base, but then at least you were floating through sand still?
Probably not, just because if you put sand on top of that, then you're going to get, it's going to get swooped out probably a little bit, or it's going to get some kind of just like the lines won't be good enough to sacrifice going outside. If that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. So
It being solid gave you a good run through the middle of that berm to slingshot out into the. You know what I mean? Like, so
yeah.
you have to give going in because it's longer and it's a little slower, but you gain on what you can make up in the actual turn.
Okay. That's cool. What was the did you end up running a paddle tire last night, or did you stick with a normal
Negative.
one? Okay.
I knew I'm not really a big fan of the paddle
Yep.
or the scoop, whatever you want to call it. I would run that, deep outdoors and sandy, but if there's anything hard packed, I'm running that mid soft all day, the normal tire all day.
Okay, yeah, we were.
I would rather give up a little bit in the sand to feel comfortable everywhere else.
Okay.
Especially it being my first race on the 452, like all that extra power is like, I want to be 100% grounded and comfortable.
Yep. I mean, that was big talk last night. They were all over it on the broadcast with the difference between the scoop tire and the regular tire and who was running it and who wasn't and all that stuff. So we were all curious.
I was shocked. I actually saw some of the scoop / the paddle tire, whatever you want to call it. Like even when I was going up on the LCQ and whatnot, I saw some of the guys had it and I'm like, that's not for me, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, you have one sand section on the whole track, pretty much. Yes, long, but is it worth you being a little bit on edge and your rear end being a little bit looser everywhere else on the track when you're trying to T-bounce into, a 3-on or something a little bit sketchier? I don't think so at all.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're pretty sure that Pro Circuit was running the scoop, and obviously McAdoo won, so that, like I said... they
were?
We're pretty sure, because we think on the broadcast right before the 250 main, DB did a thing on track, and he was literally standing right behind them, like touching the guy's tires, like, yeah, see, this is a scoop, this isn't a scoop. And we're pretty sure McAdoo had a scoop on. I'm going to have to go back and watch it again to confirm that, but we're pretty sure he did. So like I said, it was definitely the talk last night.
I mean, I wonder if he had a spec scoop, like if it's a little softer, a little bit different than
that
like
could
the
be.
production stuff.
I'm sure if any tire they have a spec. All right, let's be honest here. So, so what was that wall after you came across the start line there? How was that? Because they said in the broadcast that Sexton jumped all the way and faced that tabletop. And when I watched the, what's it called? The press day, I was going, man, who's going to be the guy to jump all the way on that thing? Because it looked like it was very doable.
If you want my honest opinion, I don't know why all of us were not doubling in at least. Like, it was not that bad.
Yeah.
I don't think it was. I don't think it was that bad. But I never did it. Nobody else is doing it. And I'm like, I'm not going to be the one to destroy myself on my first round on the 450. Like, I didn't play it, conservative, I guess you could say, but I played it smart. Like, I wasn't going to go do anything stupid that I didn't really need to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, which that's acceptable.
But, like, size-wise and for how steep the wall wasn't, I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah.
I'm shocked that more people were not doing it. And did you see the video of Sexton doing it?
I haven't seen the video yet. Like I said, they talked about it, and then Cole told me that it was on his Instagram, but no, I haven't watched it yet.
Dude, you could easily, like if Stu was out there, homie would be jumping up onto the tabletop and off from the wall.
Yeah. I mean, like I said,
I don't think it would have been bad.
Watching press day videos
of the rut that you're landing on.
Yeah, watching press day videos, I was just like, that wall is not steep, so it's not going to loft you like 1,000 feet like Stu in 11 was doing.
No.
And I'm like, that table or that on-off section there, it was not that far away from it. So, yeah, it was, like I said, I was very shocked. I was shocked we didn't see it in all of qualifying. Like, nobody busted it out. And then they said, oh, well, Sexton did. And then he faced the fuck, I guess, out of that tabletop and chipped his tooth and gave himself 2 black eyes. But I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
So, I did like, one thing I liked watching were those finger jumps after the over-under bridge. What were those like? Because I thought those looked pretty cool. Like, they actually built them the way they were supposed to be built, where one side was bigger than the other type deal.
I would have to say, like, out of all the ones that I've seen built and passed, was probably the best one, for sure.
Okay.
Because they were built, like, they gave people options. You know what I mean? Like, there was not one clearly faster line unless you could consistently get that, you know, like, get over the first two small humps and then go 3-3 into the corner. Like, I think that was probably obviously the premier line, but it wasn't easy. So, like, it was good because, separators are the biggest thing in Supercross racing. So,
yeah, and we definitely saw that.
I think that. Go ahead.
We definitely saw that with those. There were there were guys that were going like 2-3-1. There were guys that were going 3-3. There was a bunch of 2-2-2s through there. I mean, and it was.
Yeah.
You could watch the same guy do different things all night. So, that definitely was
so
interesting.
At the beginning, I was going like wheelie, like bring my front wheel over the first one.
Yeah.
And then doubling over the first big one, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was going wheelie over the first small one, off the second small one, over the first big one, and then double 3 into the corner. And that was actually pretty good. And then I go out there for the next qualifying session. They had groomed it, and obviously you're just coming up ready to send it right into it, clip the absolute living heck out of the first tall one, just about die. So then that went to trash. So then I ended up scooting left a little bit, and I would go 2, I think, and then 3 into the corner from on the left side. So, like, that's what it ended up turning into for a majority of the guys.
Okay. Yeah.
Overall, I thought that was, full track-wise, like, I've been to 3 Daytonas now after this weekend because this was my very first, that's wild, dude. Like, 2 years. I've been racing Supercross for 2 years, 2 complete years, I believe. Yeah, 2019, pretty much, because in 2019, this was my very first Supercross coming off of a broken leg.
Yep.
So, obviously, I raced in 2020, and then I just raced it this year. So, you know, out of those 3 tracks, I definitely thought this was the best one.
We would all agree with you. This is the best one we've seen in years. So, that it definitely made us very happy to watch it because there were not all the switchbacks and short sections and all the shit that just turns one line. So, what's it?
Yeah.
So what's it like racing the 450? I know this is technically your second 450 race. What's it like racing the 450 class though now and like sitting on the line and you look down, say your heat race, and you've got Kenny and Cooper or Eli or run the list here.
Let's not even stop there. We got Cooper, we got Eli, I had Bogle, I had Savachi, I had Barsha, I had Plessinger, I think Mookie. I don't know, dude. Like, I could literally go down a list of probably 12 dudes that you watch every single weekend. It's like, this is wild.
What am I doing here? I don't even know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Oh man.
No, it's badass, dude. It is. So, like, 21 years old, few years into Supercross, and you're like racing. Not saying I'm competitive with them yet, but like racing with the guys that you've been watching on TV for the past 10 years is pretty badass.
Yeah. That, I don't know. That would be it, to me, like even rolling up to a practice track and seeing some of these guys like a Kenny or something like that. Like if they were out in California testing, I would be like, holy fucking shit. This is fucking, like, I'm not going on the track till they leave. Like,
yeah,
no way.
Exactly.
So to be actually lining up on the gate to race them, I can't imagine what's going through your head. So, but then at the same time, you have to think like, I'm a bad fucking dude. I'm qualified and I'm sitting on this gate for a fucking reason. So,
like if you want my honest opinion, like when I get online, even when I'm up against those guys, the same way in the super class, like the guys that should always be in front of me, at least off the start, I literally do not pay attention to that whatsoever. Like, my starts have been so good, and I'm so confident in myself. Like, if I had a better game, did you see the first start, by the way? Like, I damn near whole shot of that, too, to an extent. Obviously, I was on the outside, but I was right next to Sexton all the way into the first corner. It was just me and him. But he pushed me all the way wide, and then like 15 dudes went inside of me. But if you watch the first heat, 450 heat 1, look at who's right up next to Sexton going 1-2 into the first corner. It's me. So like, and I had a pretty bad gate all the way to the outside. So, if for whatever reason I can qualify a little better and we can get on the inside of that gate, dude, like a whole shot in a heat is not out of the question. Not saying I'm going to go get a heat win this year for sure, but a whole shot is not out of the question whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, I would not call it out of the realm either, man, because you definitely have your starts on lock. So, I mean, last night was just you got that start, and then it was like, then you had that butt pucker, and I was just like, oh God, like just don't crash.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter where you finish, just don't crash, man. So, and to be really
exactly.
honest with you, there wasn't anyone in that LCQ that beat you that I don't feel was like equivalent or faster speed than you. You know, that it wasn't like you were letting like you faded like a cheap suit and let like every Tom, Dick, and Harry by you. It was like solid 450 dudes who race every weekend. I mean, there is no shame in Chisholm passing you in an LCQ. All right, Chiz is fucking Chiz.
No,
all
exactly.
right?
And on the fourth lap or something like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fifth lap, like,
Yeah,
it's
I
not
think
like it all happened on lap one.
I was gonna say I think didn't Clayson get you too in that LCQ?
Yeah,
because even
I
him,
think
I was
Clayson,
like,
he
well,
was the first one that got around me.
I was just like, well, they're like same level. Like Clayson's like bubble guy main event where I feel like Kev is for the 450s too. So like, I don't know, whatever, you know. So
Yeah,
it-
100%.
either-
I mean, the biggest thing for me is like, so I feel good on a supercross track on a 450.
Yep.
You know, I haven't got a whole lot of time on the 450. So like when you're, you know, going that fast over whoops and like, you know, going over a wall that's got kickers and, you know, holes in it, like I don't feel as comfortable on the 450 as I did the 250. Obviously, like I can manhandle that 250 pretty well.
Yep.
Like you get the extra power you got under you, you catch an edge wrong and you're fourth gear wide open on a 450, there's some serious consequences there.
Yep.
So I think it's just like I didn't quite feel as comfortable, and I think that's like the biggest thing that, you know, hindered me from being as smooth as I usually am. So like if I get, and which I will, you know, we just keep getting riding, keep getting better. But if I get as smooth on the 450 as I am on the 250, dude, it's game on.
I would say the best part about it is, like you said, second race ever on your 450. I mean, again, we've talked about
Or
it.
first race ever on the 450.
Well,
but
yeah.
Second race in the class.
Yeah. I mean, you talk about the, for lack of a better word, we'll talk it the starstruck of being on the line with those guys, the not used to riding that bike, the difference in track. I mean, just you take all of those and yet you still go out, you whole shot the LCQ, you're right there battling for all 4 laps basically of it. I mean, you give yourself a few weeks, and to top it all off, it doesn't even really matter because you're racing for the 250 stuff. You're not really racing for the 450
Yeah,
at this
exactly.
point. It's just extra credit so that when you do decide you're going to go 450 in a few years here, I mean, you've already had this experience. You're ready to go. So then you don't have that kind of awe of being in that class or under those lights per se when you do get there. So I mean, it's all. At this point, as I just said, it's all extra credit for you, and it's awesome. And, I mean, at some point, I don't find it far-fetched to say that you're going to make a main at some point here in the 450 class.
Oh, no. And I think, honestly, probably one of my best chances is this coming weekend in one of the Arlington rounds because it's going to be normal Supercross.
Yep.
The Atlanta rounds, I don't know how similar they're going to be to Daytona, but I'm hoping they're more Supercrossy than that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember those track maps. I know that I don't know. It's going to be weird. Atlanta's going to be a weird one. I don't know. So, but yeah, Arlington, I definitely could see it. Or even when you get down to the end there at Salt Lake City or whatever. Or wait, Salt Lake City is a East round too, isn't it? So what do we have? We have Atlanta and Arlington. Is that all we have before we go back to Salt Lake City?
Say that again?
Is all we have is Atlanta and Arlington before we go to Salt Lake City to wrap the year up?
Yeah, we go Arlington. So we go Arlington this coming weekend.
Yep.
Arlington the next Tuesday.
Yep.
Arlington the next Saturday.
Yep.
And then we have 2 weekends in a row off. So technically like 3 weeks, 2 weekends off. And then we go Atlanta on Saturday, Atlanta on Tuesday, Atlanta on Saturday. And then the next Saturday is Salt Lake. And then the next Saturday is Salt Lake to end it.
Well, now I'm all sad because like we got a 2-week break in there, which I'll be sad that whole time, and then we've only got a few rounds left. And
Yo, you know what? You know what's wild?
huh?
Which, I mean, people are gonna probably just be like, "Kevin, you're an idiot." I just learned that we had a 2-week break, or technically a 3-week break, in between Arlington and Atlanta. I learned that today. I've been so like head down, just grinding, like doing all my Patreon stuff, doing all my helmet wraps, getting graphics, training, figuring out how I'm getting there, who's helping me, where I'm like how to make everything work in Kev's program, that I didn't even like know that we have a 3-week break coming up. You know what I mean? Like I thought we were going straight from Arlington into Atlanta.
Yeah, I mean, I knew we had a break. I didn't know it was 3 weeks. I thought we were just off like a weekend in between again. So the 3-week thing is like fucking real wild because it's like, holy shit, what am I going to do for 3 weeks, you know? Huh.
Yeah.
I might have to find a hobby.
Technically 2 weekends in a row, but yeah, I mean, it adds up to 3 weeks.
Yeah, wow, that's a lot of off time there. I don't know what to do with myself at that point. Hopefully the weather's nice. I can ride or something. Fuck.
I know, right?
So what? Yeah. So what's your plan here this week? Are you stopping somewhere on your way to Dallas here, or are you just headed straight to Texas and then you'll figure it out there? Or?
So this is put a new little monkey wrench and everything for me right now. Actually, that I'm trying to figure out this is the one round that I had planned on flying to. So I already hooked up with obviously TPJ. I got them set up with my 250 and my 450 that they're taking to Arlington.
Okay.
So I was gonna fly to this one because then I'll come back, and then obviously Atlanta's only 4 hours away from Tallahassee, which is where I'm flying out of. So it'd be really easy. Well, now that we have this 3-week break that I didn't know about, I don't know. I've got to figure out how I'm getting my 450 off of the rig and back to Tallahassee so I can ride it over this 3 weeks, right? Because I was expecting like, okay, we'll go ride Arlington. I'll fly back to Tallahassee, get a couple days in on the 250, and then race the 450 the next weekend.
Yeah.
Well, if we got 3 weeks off, like I kind of need to be getting some time on the 450 that whole time instead of just the 250.
Yep.
So now I'm actually going to figure this out tomorrow, whether I'm going to cancel my flight and drive out there or try to find, I think I got a buddy, my buddy Colt, Colt Magman.
Yeah.
Maybe see if I can try to stick my 450 in with them to bring it back. So I don't know. We're gonna kind of figure it out. But as of right now, I'm headed back to Tallahassee actually as we speak to get a couple days of riding in this week before I head towards Arlington.
The life of a privateer never gets old. Always something.
Oh, it doesn't. It is.
Oh.
That is for sure.
Oh man, that is awesome. Have you watched the race back from last night?
I just watched qualifying, like the bit on me, and then obviously the LC2 as well, because I had so many people texting me about all the TV time and all the great things that they were saying and whatnot. So I got very curious and wanted to see what they had to say.
Yeah, the qualifying stuff, they were really diving in. I think they made the comment about you like doing TV or something after you were done. Like, I was like super.
Yeah, dude, I got to actually talk to like Daniel a little bit because Daniel helped me through like the Amstel Arena Cross way back in the day. Like, he kind of noticed me early, I guess, and kind of just put me under his wing a little bit. But no, he's always kind of said, at least the past year, and then like as of lately for sure, he's like, dude, like we're prepping you to take my job pretty much. You know what I mean? So I mean, I don't know how obviously realistic that is and everything, but which I don't even want that position for at least another, I'd say 6, 7, 8 years. I don't know. I want to keep racing.
Yeah.
But regardless, after, racing ends for me, I think that the way I do talk, the way I can communicate, and I can kind of be entertaining with it, like I feel like, there's bright future in whichever way I kind of go, which is exciting.
Oh, yeah. Well, I could definitely, I mean, when he said that, I'm like, you're not wrong. I mean, because we obviously talk.
My brother was like, I don't know about that. I was like, yeah, for sure I ain't going to be a TV guy as an actor. That's for sure. I'm going to have to be definitely some kind of like talker because your boy's acting skills, don't know how good those are.
Yeah, I don't know about the acting thing, but you definitely can talk just fine.
Yeah, exactly.
You're one of those people that it's like when we call the interview, I know the conversation will go well. There are certain people, and I keep, obviously talking to new people all the time in the industry, that there's certain people it's like, oh man, they just do not talk well. I know when I call them, they're not going to talk well. So yeah. But you don't have to worry about that. And yes, I could definitely see you taking Daniel's job there when you decide to hang the boots up for the pro racing there and being that guy on Race Day Live that everyone then makes fun of. So it'll be great.
Yeah, exactly. Just completely getting shit on.
Yeah, it's fine. You're a TV personality. You gotta be used to that, man. Just pull a
Yeah.
Kenny and get on there and be like, "Well, how about you suck my dick?" How's that sound? I mean, so what did you hear about the web on Kenny move there at the start of that main?
Well, I saw that he kind of just took him as I saw the video of it, and he took him as high as he possibly could.
Yeah. What do you think
I'm
about
honestly
that?
I'm pretty surprised that like Roxon didn't end up pushing his front wheel over the top of the berm a little bit or into the softer stuff. So like he got lucky.
Was it greasy move or it was okay?
I mean, 100%. The dudes are fighting for a championship, so all the rights to Webb for doing that. I mean, yeah, it was probably a little bit of a shitty move, but you're telling me if a championship's on the line, you're not going to run the guy a little bit wide?
Oh,
Like,
man, he'd have
it's not
gone
like
over
you
that
make
berm.
contact or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that was 100% called for. I mean, it's part of racing for a championship. So,
Yeah.
no, I don't think there's any disrespect there for either of the riders. Like, they kind of know their situation. They got to kind of, I mean, that, and especially it being off the start. It's a little bit different maybe if it's mid-race or something like that. But off the start, like, Webb kind of had the potential to really screw him over by not being very dirty, because if you just push him a little high, maybe he got sketchy and didn't fall, but, you know, had to pull in the clutch and stop for a little bit. Like, that's literally 8 to 10 guys that just got in front of him in one corner.
Yeah.
So, like, the risk versus reward was very high on the reward side for Webb on that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, 100% I would have done the same thing.
I mean,
and it was good because he didn't hit him or anything. So, like, I think it was called for.
Yeah, and it's great for us because Kenny's pissed. Like, his post-race interview, all he could say was like, well, Webb likes to play games. Well, I like to play too. And I'm like, yes, let's have this start happening. I'm all in. Like, this gives me hours of stuff to talk about. It'll be fucking fantastic.
Yes.
So, do you notice in the 450 class, is the pace like a lot, I guess I don't know how to say it, higher, different compared to 250s? Because I've kind of heard some things on podcasts
yes and
before.
no.
Okay.
Like, when I was on, like, my first 450 race, I was like, yes. I was like, I don't know how these guys are doing this. I was like, they're being so aggressive, diving into the inside of corners. And then when I almost whole shot it on my 250, right?
Yeah.
And then the next corner I got taken wide, and obviously I was on 250, so I didn't have enough power to get over that triple.
Yep.
That's when it clicked for me, like, son of a bitch. They're able to be so aggressive because they can dive into the inside of a corner, hit the throttle, and just roll right over any jump.
Yeah.
250s, you can't do that because you need that momentum.
Yep.
So, like, 250s aren't as aggressive because everybody needs the momentum to get over those jumps. So as soon as you get that bigger motor and then more power under you, sure as shit, yeah, you can dive in on the inside of people and go real low in corners because you got the speed to get over those jumps.
Yeah.
So, like, when I was on the 250 against the 450 class, or 450 riders, like, yeah, I was kind of shell-shocked. I was like, geez, this is just next level. But I guess I don't know because we can't really declare this last race as actual Supercross Navy.
Yeah.
But it didn't feel, I didn't feel out of place at all, which is actually a good thing. Like, I felt pretty at home.
Yeah, that's really good if you did. So, if you felt that way, so that's good, man. That's awesome. So,
Yeah.
Anything else in the sport here you want to talk about? I mean, anything you're hearing in the
I think
pits?
that's
Drop some drama, bro. Let's hear some good pit
I
drama.
really don't have any drama, man. You know Kev. Kev's so focused on everything, all the shit he's got moving and all the million pieces he's got going in different ways that I kind of keep to myself and just try to keep the people that are behind me happy.
Yeah, I know, man. So here's what I'm going to need from you, okay, for future races. I'm going to need you to take 30 minutes during the middle of the day, get unfocused, walk around, find some drama somewhere so you can bring it to the show because this is where we like to go. We like to drop drama on the show.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like if
we
you
can start some drama with your boys. You better be opening some paychecks for some whole shot bonuses.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, so you know.
I'm just playing.
My boys, that's a loose term, okay? Mind you, none of them showed up for the show tonight. Cole did call in. I think Justin's tied up at work, so that's why he's not here, which is whatever. But then Cole was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna call in. I'm not gonna show up." I was like, "Fine, whatever." So doesn't hurt my feelings because it's easier to edit only an audio show than it is to do audio video. And since I'm leaving Tuesday to go down to Florida, it's like, okay, cool. Like this will make it real easy for me to get the show done and get everything packed up. Since obviously we have races, so I got to take the fucking audio equipment on vacation with me too, so I can do all this crap. So, but yeah, so yeah, look, man. You nail down one of them hole shots in the main or something like that. Don't you worry. We'll get them.
I know.
Sending some moolah over there. So, yeah. I mean, if you want to hear some,
I appreciate that.
If you want to hear some good drama, go back and listen to our show last week where we had Coach Rob on because he dropped some bombs in there, which is awesome.
Really?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, there's a couple. We'll talk a little off air. There's some on air stuff that we could talk about, but after we wrap this up here, I'll tell you a little more since you're on the road and you got a couple minutes.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, because he definitely dropped some bombs on the show last week, which I was like, wow, okay, cool, this is fucking awesome. Soon as I can figure out how to get this in front of enough moto people, like this is gonna blow the fuck up. So. So go back and listen to that if you're driving around a lot here, because trust me, it was worth it. It was a long show, but yeah, he definitely dropped some bombs in there. So, cool, man. Well, I don't really have anything else on the agenda here. I'm very ill prepared for the show tonight, so I think I covered everything I wanted to touch base with you. You don't have any good drama, so God, whatever. So yeah.
I know.
Well, awesome, man. Well, thanks for coming on again, and then. What is it? Moranz? I'm terrible at this. Moranz Racing, KevinMoranz.com. Which one is it?
Yeah, KevinMoranz.com. Just hit the Join Moranz Racing tab. And yeah, check it out. You can support his fans, support his sponsor, do a one-time little donation, whatever you guys are kind of looking to do at the time. One thing I do have right now, I have one spot left on the front fender. That's the top tier supporting as a fan, which is pretty cool. So one left of those. So if you guys want that bad boy, sign up. And we'll get your name on the bike before Arlington. Yeah,
there you go. Be a fan, be a support system, and help a privateer hero.
Join the team.
Kevin Moranz.
Yeah, there you go.
Although, hey, man.
I appreciate you guys.
If I need you to get enough points to be number 69 next year, okay?
Why?
I really need you to be number 69 next year because I just want to be able to say he's number 69 on the track, but number 1 in your hearts. You know, I really want to.
Oh my goodness!
I really want to be able to put that out there. All right.
Oh, all righty. We'll do our best. We'll keep getting those points.
All right, cool, man. Well, thank you for coming on the show, and like I said, we'll talk here in a couple minutes about some other stuff off the air. So.
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate it.
All right, later, bro.